And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. I was gathering my thoughts. As a matter of fact, I sat there and I thought, what color shirt you got on? It was one of those days where you reach in and you get the first thing. I'm pink today. How are y'all doing? I hope very well. It is Thursday. The weekend is very close. It's going to be a very cloudy day, but warm. 83 is the high that we're looking for. Now, we want to remind you as we get closer and closer toward the weekend, Sunday, that we're going to have severe weather, and this will lead into Monday also, maybe even to Monday afternoon as they try to determine the exact path of what's coming. We are getting word that tornadoes cannot be ruled out on this. Now we're at a level 2. This will update several times, and where it is, the worst of the weather lies way north of us. We'll follow this as anything can happen here, though. We're on it. We'll be here for you during the storms. That'll be late Sunday evening and into Monday afternoon possibility there. We'll be keeping you updated on all this as it approaches. We'll got a big show. The senator will be in with us this morning. Jeff Tate will join us to talk about what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi lately. Some laws being passed, some that will affect you, some will affect you with the gas pumps. We'll find all that out this morning. It's up and coming. Right now, let's go to Collinsville. Let's get a good word there from First Baptist.
Have you ever spent time waiting on someone to meet you and you had no idea where they were? You just kind of sat there and you waited and you waited and you waited and you wondered if they'd forgotten. You become distracted and eventually you think, man, I'll just leave. But at the very last moment, they show up. Or maybe it's the other way around and you're cleaning the house. You're getting everything ready, right, to have them to come over. But then someone shows up really early, way earlier than you expected. The house isn't ready. The clothes aren't put up. What will you do, right? Well, you just got to make it work. You know, a lot of people ask, when's Christ coming back? And there have been many people who try to predict it, and he hadn't come back yet. So obviously, they've all failed in that effort. I think the beginning of 1 Thessalonians 5 gives us great comfort and great direction on how to approach Jesus' return. Here's what it says. About the times and the seasons, brothers and sisters, you do not need anything to be written to you. For you yourselves know very well that the day of the Lord will come just like a thief in the night. And when they say peace and security, then sudden destruction will come upon them like labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. You know, this text tells us that we, as believers, have enough information, that we have what God wants to give us. You know, and God's not beholden to explain every detail of His plans and how He's going to work it all out. You know, if He did, we would be God and not Him. But for those who do not know Christ as Savior, His return is not a good thing because, like a thief, it'll be unwanted and unwelcomed. Why? Because those who have not trusted Jesus will be judged, and those without Christ will be separated from God in hell. If you don't know Christ, I plead with you to put your faith and trust in Him before it is too late. But if you are in Christ, what do? Well, we keep on keeping on. We live every day for Him. That way, we aren't sitting back and just apathetically waiting for Him to show up one day, nor does when He come as a surprise. As a Christian rap song says, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Let's live faithfully for Christ's return. And let's live every day like it could be our last. For His glory and His glory alone. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. It's always good to get a good message as we begin each day. I guess it was the early 1990s that we all got first introduced to Will Smith. Do y'all remember that? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Had a cute little song to it. I think at that point he was more of a rap singer than he was an actor. Well, it kind of changed, didn't it? He became a big known actor and not as much singing. But yesterday was a big day for him, and we congratulate anybody who makes it and is proud of where they come from. They named a portion of the street in front of his old high school in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Will Smith Way. That's nice. He was there for that. He thanked everybody, and he talked about how at the high school that a lot of the ideas came for his TV show. And he said it happened right there in that building. And he stressed how hard work can make you somebody. I agree with Will Smith on that. He does some things sometimes that makes me ponder, but he's a good actor and a good speech there about working hard to get what you want in life. You got to work for that. Let's see. Kohl's are going to be closing 27 stores soon. They're underperforming stores is what it is. Nationwide, 27 will shut, so you know. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Netflix because it's forever burned in my head when I was a kid, 2 to 3 years old. I know they made a movie, and it was, but Netflix is looking at making a live action Scooby-Doo. So I'm assuming it would be actual people instead of the cartoon character design. What do y'all think? Are some things best left alone, or is Scooby that good that this could turn out? Netflix. They done something, Scooby Island.
They had two of them.
They had 2 shows, and like I said, it was, yeah. Some of it was kind of good. Some parts of it, you go, why'd you do that? Let's just hope they don't turn it into an Uncle Jesse situation. But again, I thought the world of Scooby-Doo as a kid, and let's hope that this is good as Netflix breaks loose with a new show there. 1983. Can y'all imagine this? And just wrap your head around this. 1983. You have a 23-year-old daughter that has made it on her own. She's working, and then one night she disappears. No one heard from her ever again. Family has been worried. It's been, how many, 40-something years?
Yeah.
40, a little over 40 years.
48.
They found her car yesterday. They're assuming that it was an accident in Chicago, in the river is where it was found. Cranes pulled the car out and set it on water. It was sonar that discovered the car as they go into cold case files that haven't been solved. The back window of the car was busted out. They think that was from debris through the years it busted the window. But some closure, and they're pretty sure again that it was an accident where the car drove off in there. Bless them and the family members. That's got to be tough on someone, but finally some closure. We don't know the rest of this. I read into this several times this morning to make sure I understood this. We got 4 U.S. members of the military missing in Lithuania. At first they said they were deceased, and then they backtracked on that. They're not real sure at this point, but we have 4 soldiers missing there that could be deceased. We'll word it that way. An investigation is launched, and we hope to find out more about that soon. That's tough there. Now, let me show this picture of this lady. I watched part of this yesterday, and apparently most things can be decided. There are don't get me wrong, there are gray areas in life to where you can't answer something. You look at it and you go, well, yeah, it could go either way. But the lady that is in charge, NPR, which is that, and the 88.1 dial that they have no personality on the radio, just kind of monotone. This is her. She sat before senators yesterday and had to answer questions. And all my life, they were pretty straightforward yes or no questions. Did you do this? Did you do that? Her answers were, woof. She wouldn't answer them straight. If you made a text and you put it out there and it says that you said it, but you still won't admit it, something's wrong. So I believe someone needs to be new at the helm to straighten this out. NPR, it does lean this way. We'll leave it at that. I was unaware of this. Maybe y'all were. Tucker Carlson's father has passed away. Did anybody know that? Maybe I just missed that. He put up the obituary about his father. Here's a picture of him, Dick Carlson. I didn't realize that, and it goes on through what he did in life. It's an interesting article there. You can find that on his Twitter account, X account. Find out more about his dad. I like old Tucker. He started something no one else had done. They fired him, and he started his own network. Good job there. Have you seen this? It's nothing like a kid, and I've watched the comments over and over. People go, that dude is not a daddy. Have y'all seen this? Because he doesn't know how to carry a child. Secret Service. A little tyke about yay tall was at the White House, standing outside the fence looking in, and he thought, well, I'd like to go to the White House. Through the fence he went. That's the officer toting him back over, Tyler Smith. His picture there from Twitter there. But watch the video of that. It is interesting. It was no harm done, but that little tyke was fast. Through the fence he went. You wouldn't think they could fit through that, could you?
Yeah.
But definitely not one of those guys that has a bunch of kids that knows how to pick one up, hold him. He was struggling with what to do. Now, this is, and I don't want anyone to take this wrong by any means. I've watched the video. You have to put yourself in the place of this. As there are jobs in this world to where some, I think, are really made for men, some are made for women. Then there's co-ed jobs, I guess you could say, that either sex can do. And there's a lot of controversy around this. Let me see what state this is to make sure I'm right. Miami, Florida. There was a wreck. Police officer pulls up to the scene. The guy that's in the car gets out, walks over to talk to the police officer. He's standing at her car. Her car is what I said, and he walks back towards his. He is brutally attacked by a gang. Have y'all seen this? They take a bicycle and whoop him. The police officer does nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. And if you'll look at this, this is straight from Twitter. This is off X. As you'll look at this, how many is that? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people jumping on him? Police officer stays in that car. She would wait until others arrived before she would get out. Now, common sense tells you if there's 50 of them and 1 or 2 of you, you're not going to win. But I think she is going to be placed on admin leave until this investigation is over. The police chief is trying to express to the citizens that they do and will protect citizens, although the video doesn't show it. My, oh my. But that can happen anywhere. And I show that and tell you this to be careful at scene. Sometimes it's best for you to stay in your car until, and I was going to say till police arrive, but boy, I have to backtrack on that one, don't I?
Yeah.
Maybe more police. That sketchy situation. And again, no harm meant. There's, and each individual is, I think it depends upon individuals for a job. Do y'all know what I mean by that? You can't have someone, either male or female, that's very, very frail that can't defend themselves doing that job. There are other places in that department they need to be. I have no idea. I've never seen this person, what they look like. But Trump is endorsing someone. Almost kind of shocked to some degree because this guy's all over the road. 1 minute he's helping you, 1 minute he's against you. And who am I talking about? The flamboyant, and let me use that word a lot, flamboyant Lindsey Graham. Trump has endorsed him.
Must be somebody really bad running against him.
He said it's got to be somebody bad running against him for that endorsement. You ever get that feeling as somebody you just don't trust?
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on Senator Lindsey Graham. Now, he may be the greatest person in the world, but I have that, what do they call it, that little thing that gets on your shoulder that starts talking to you, goes, I don't know about all that. That's where I am on him. It's long awaited. If it's as good as the first one, it will be wonderful. Mel Gibson getting ready to start his long-awaited sequel. You remember the Christ movie he done? That's coming out. He's making a second movie to this. And the first one, if you'll remember, it really, really showed what Jesus went through. No other movie that I've ever seen has shown exactly the torture and the pain that Jesus went through. Most turn their heads. It's tough to watch. But no one else has ever shown exactly what went on. You saw the movies that have had Jesus through the street dragging the cross, but it's what happened to him in other areas. Mel Gibson showed it as how horrifying it was. Critically acclaimed. We'll see how this movie turns out. Everybody ready? It's coming close. What is it, April 15th is that deadline? Have you done your taxes yet? Or do you wait till the last minute and expect your tax preparer to be able to do it overnight? Get there early. You're still going to owe the money one way or the other. There's just no other way. I mean, we got courthouses we got to pay for and things like that. Go work an extra shift to help out with this. We'll talk to the senator about that coming up here in just a little bit. Now, someone's needs to pay up, in my opinion, and for what it's worth. Texas. I didn't know this was offered. They're outlawing it apparently. But it's kind of like DoorDash. You want a hamburger, you call somebody and they deliver it to your house. What happens if you wanted a lottery ticket and just didn't feel like going to the store? Well, you push a button, somebody buys the lottery ticket and brings it to you. I truly don't see a problem with that. It's just like home delivery. The lady says she purchased a ticket because she didn't feel safe going to the store to buy the ticket. Since then, 1 week later, after she hit the I want to buy this, Texas introduces a law going, well, we think that's illegal and we're not going to do that. Here's the problem. That $10 ticket or whatever she paid has won $83 million. And the state of Texas doesn't want to pay up. They're going, well, this could be illegal.
No, it ain't their money.
It's not their money, and they didn't introduce this until a week after she had purchased the ticket. Really, what is wrong with someone? It's like going, hey, Earl, you're going to get a Coke. Buy this ticket for me while you're there. I have problems with that, and maybe there's something that I don't know here. Y'all be the judge of this. You're Americans. Is it right or is it wrong? I don't think Mississippi has a law on that, or Alabama. I think you can just get whoever to go down and get it. That DoorDash thing is neat. Now, if you want a hamburger, you pay for somebody to do it for you.
Well, and they'll get you shampoo and everything else.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Shampoo? What, really?
Mega Millions is fixing to go to $5 a ticket.
Omega Millions is going up, isn't it? $5. It was $2. You can get it.
$2.
So it starts at $5 now. Does it increase your chances of making more money?
Not just the top prize, but all prizes.
All prizes. Okay. And it's fun to play along with that. It's the dream of, could I hit it? Could I make a little something extra? And I admit, there are people, you know them, they're just lucky that can walk in somewhere and win something. There's a drawing at a local fire department. They buy a ticket. They're the winner. It's weird. Now, there are some, let me back up, that go to the casinos and they only tell you about the winnings that they make and never bring up what they lost. But there are a lot of folks that have that, just that talent. Good luck goes with them. We have problems in the U.S. As we have a president doing his best to fix problems, we do have a group of judges, believe it or not, that don't want that to change. They were placed in key positions by administrations long going to protect, well, the left, is the way I will word it, are those that lean ways that the average American doesn't think. We have a judge that is wanting the Trump administration to explain why passports don't recognize transgender identity. That's one of the things that's going on. We have another judge that is denying the ability of the Trump administration to stop transgenders in the military. Do you remember the judge? Here's another example of that. Do you remember the judge that said you can't take that plane off to deliver those bad guys somewhere else? They're also going to place that same judge over those text messages. I'm just guessing here he may not be a Trump fan or a fan of what middle America wants, those that voted for this administration. And again, it's all opinion, and you know where you lie. How do you feel on those subjects? Think on that. These judges have been appointed. I don't know if they can be removed or not. I do not. I know it gets sketchy when the people will say the right is trying to remove a judge that doesn't agree with them. Don't get me wrong on that. We have to watch things like that. Judge is a judge, but boy, this stuff is... Do you remember us talking about this guy from Minnesota, the state lawmaker? His name is Justin Eckhorn. He was trying more or less to solicit or buy from an underage person for, I guess the word is, you can't change it, of sexual favors. While in jail, he got those papers. His wife says, well, you're not going to be married to me anymore. That happened to him. He is getting out of jail now. He sat there for quite a few days. They finally made it to where he could post bail to get out. His political career is over. So is his marriage, and probably will have trouble seeing his 4 children. We also have somebody else that's a lawmaker that is in deep hockey. Is that the word I should use? This guy, and he's in his 80s. I call these people like this especially predators. Yeah, I think he's 81 now. He is from North Dakota. I admit there's not a lot that goes on in North Dakota. You're kind of bored, but, well, you don't need to do this. This guy was like major politician in North Dakota for years, a powerful lawmaker. He has since resigned. He's been traveling for the past 10 years to Europe. Y'all want to guess what he's been doing? Underage boys. busted. He's been sentenced. They were going, wait a minute, he's 80. You don't need to do this, and sentence him to 10 years in prison. The judge said, no way. If I let him off lightly, it will let others that do this think that they can do it and only have to serve a year in jail. And he said, I'm not doing it. I don't care what age he is. He's 81. He went after underage boys. He's going to jail for 10 years. That almost goes into one of those Budweiser commercials. We salute you, Mr. Judge. Y'all remember those things?
Yeah.
I heard that in the back of my head as I was talking about that. They need to bring those back. We have a mother, and I'm not even going to show her picture because she scares me. An Army wife has pled guilty. Oh, this will break your heart. For fatally stabbing her infant son. Stabbed him in the neck, wrapped him in a shower curtain. She's pled guilty. Florida, trying to get ahead of this, headlines as we look to Florida. As we have judges, and again, sometimes I go back to that judge thing of when it comes to executions, when you have capital punishment in a state, they'll rule, well, you can't do lethal injection. It's too harmful for someone on death row to go through this. I have to cock my eye on that and everything else. I think Mississippi has already passed this law, but Florida Republicans are trying to get it to where you could have firing squads. We saw one of the first in the United States not long ago. Lethal gas, as they push all these changes on the judges trying to make it to where you can't do it. They're trying to add other alternative ways to finish the job, so to speak. We'll watch Florida, let you know what happens on that. You don't see this very often. I go to Fox News for this next story. When's the last time that you saw a vice president actually do something with the troops? Oh, I'm not talking about where they walk across the deck of a ship or shake hands walking down the border, but, well, actually, here it is. Here's a picture of this. That's J.D. Vance with the guys shooting at the range. You just don't see that a lot from elected officials. No. They really don't get down with the troops. He did. So this guy is somebody to watch, I think. He seems very normal, very level-headed, and boy, can he speak. Now, I would probably be told if I were to ask information on a case. I looked at this and it sparked my curiosity. If I were to call and go, can you give me details of what happened here? I would probably be told, oh, it's a family member. You don't need to do a story on that. I can almost bet that I would be told this. But babysitters, y'all think about this. A babysitter, and they're getting ready to put the little tyke to bed, and the kid goes, I think there's a monster under my bed. And, of course, the babysitter's going to lean down and look under the bed to calm the child. Babysitter done that, and guess what? She was eyeball to eyeball with someone. It was the boogeyman under the bed. She calls police. They arrive. He takes off, gets away from them. Turns out, in the end, why I said what I did in the beginning, he used to rent or stay at the house sometime before that. He was no longer a member of that household. He did know the people, but he was up to no good. He's been arrested since then. He was caught the next day. Is there more to it? Yeah, probably so. But it was there. It scared a child. What was it in a child's bedroom? My, oh my. That was in Kansas is where that went down. This one, and I know we're running late. We're going to do a quick on weather here. Jasmine Crockett. Have y'all seen this where she has refused to apologize for calling the governor of Texas Hot Wheels? More or less making fun of someone who's paralyzed. It's bad. She is also the same one that I've seen through the halls of Congress dancing, making, what are those videos? This is the U.S. Capitol. Same as we saw in Meridian. You go to court, you wear clothes. You don't wear pajamas. You respect it. There are jobs that will require you to do that. That's why I'm not a senator. I don't even have a tie. Truly, I don't. We'll be right back with a quick look at the forecast. I am running late this morning. I got carried away with the headline Shaping America, didn't I? We'll check that forecast next.
For something as vital as your eyes, you should have your lenses and contacts made with the utmost care and precision. And that's what Grayson Optical does on 24th Avenue. Since 1996, Grayson Optical's mission has been to provide Meridian and surrounding areas with quality eye care products. That's why we're locally owned and operated. And don't forget, custom-made sunglasses like Costa for your eyes only. When you need to see clearly, Grayson Optical. 2021 24th Avenue, Meridian. 601-693-6374.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Again, as we get into our weather forecast, back in 21, it was a hot day, 87. Back in 55, it was 20. Today's outlook is cloudy and hot, 83 for us on this March day. As we look to Alabama, 82 in Demopolis. We'll see 79 in Anniston, and even see that in Auburn, Alabama. This is what we're watching this coming weekend, Sunday night, and through Monday afternoon is what we're seeing here. Level 2 tornadic activity is very possible with this. Damaging winds of 60 miles an hour, severe storms, hail, golf ball size. Y'all watch this. We'll be here giving you the weather street by street to keep you safe where you are. Again, Sunday evening as we get into Monday. We'll be all over it there. Hot, warm temperatures as we look at this, your 7-day forecast. 83 today, still holding at 82. Now we're up to an 80% chance of showers on Saturday. This could dampen outdoor activities and things that are going to be happening in the community. If you've got an event, you have to change the date on it, please let us know. That's going to be happening there. 75 is what we're expected for high. Back to 86 as we get into Sunday. That'll be hot. Then we'll be back down to, well, just about 80, 85 the next couple of days after that. We're holding steady in these 80s as we get into April the 9th. Look at this. Anywhere from 85 to 77. So we're definitely in warmer territory, aren't we? What's that fishing forecast look like for today? 10:30 this morning till about 12:30. Should be good to go fishing there. Some minute time this afternoon around 5 if you just got to go and bait a hook. 5 o'clock will be that. It's minor. Sunrise happened at 6:48. We're going to have sunlight till about 7:11. Thank y'all for joining. We're going to be back in a couple of minutes as we get ready for the morning show. Senator Jeff Tate joins us. We got a lot of questions for him. We got a lie detector test we're going to put on him. Okay, I'm joking. Join us. We'll be back in just a moment at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.